All right, time is 7 o'clock. On behalf of MTC Global Family, I extend a hearty welcome to all the participants for the day two sessions. Ma'am is already with us, and yesterday, due to lack of time, I could not introduce ma'am. So I take this opportunity to briefly introduce ma'am to all the participants. Dr. Monika Gupta, ma'am, presently working as a professor, marketing and general management, retail management and consumer behavior in Chitkara University. She has a PhD in management, UGC NET in management, MBA marketing and information technology. With more than 15 years of teaching MBA and 4 years of corporate experience. Ma'am has been teaching marketing management, strategic management, retail management, and consumer behavior since 2007. She has 26 papers published in Scopus, including 3 edited book publications with an international publisher, of which 2 are on neuromarketing and 1 on waste management. She got 1 patent granted, 2 patents filed, 2 more are in process. She has 1 copyright published and 2 are in process. She has been awarded Best Senior Faculty Award by Novel Research Academy during National Faculty Award 2022 and 23 in April 2022. So this is the brief introduction of ma'am. Now I request ma'am to kindly please take over the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such introduction. So I welcome all the participants and sir. Okay, let us start. I hope all of you are clear with what we have covered yesterday. In continuation, we will have today's session on structuring research, model building. So the first, after what we have discussed yesterday, we need to know how to validate research models. So basically, what does it mean? Validating research models is crucial to ensure their accuracy and applicability. It involves assessing whether the model accurately represents the real world phenomena it aims to stimulate. Common validation techniques include residual diagnostics, cross validation, and external validation. The validation process begins with residual diagnostics, where the differences between observed and predicted values are analyzed to detect patterns indicating model flaws. Next, cross validation involves participating data into subsets to test the model's performance on unseen data, helping to identify overfitting. Finally, external validation tests the model against new, independent data to assess its generalizability. For instance, in validating a customer satisfaction model, one might start by analyzing residuals to check the system for instance, in validating a customer satisfaction model, one might start by analyzing residuals to check for systematic errors, then apply cross validation to ensure the model's robustness, and finally test the model on data from a different customer segment to confirm its applicability across various groups. Let us explore the concept further with the help of a caselet. A retail company developed a model to predict customer satisfaction based on purchase history and feedback scores. Initially, the model showed a good fit with the existing data. However, upon conducting residual diagnostics, analysts noticed a pattern indicating that the model consistently underestimated satisfaction for high value customers. To address this, they refined the model by incorporating additional variables such as customer service interactions. Subsequent cross validation demonstrated improved predictive accuracy, and external validation using data from a new store location confirmed the model's generalizability. Now, the question arises, What are the potential consequences of using an unvalidated model in management research? Anyone? If we do not go for validation,
Wrong decisions.
wrong decisions. Okay. What else?
Ma'am, sometimes, yeah, good evening, ma'am. Sometimes it happens when we go for, statistical analysis using
Yes.
the residual models. We, check the skewness of the data, and, sometimes it shows that disbalance, which gives, inappropriate results to us. So, in order to generalize anything, we, revalidate
Right.
the model.
Right. So basically, using an unvalidated model can lead to inaccurate conclusions, misguided strategies, and potential financial losses due to decisions based on faulty predictions. So, how does cross validation help in preventing overfitting in research models? Cross validation. What will happen if we go for this? It helps in assessing how the model performs on unseen data, ensuring that it generalizes well and is not just tailored to the training dataset. Which technique involves partitioning data into subsets to test a model's performance? Residual diagnostics, cross validation, external validation, or sensitivity analysis? It is? We are discussing this. Which option? It is cross validation. Which is the primary purpose of residual diagnostics in model validation? To test the model of new data, to analyze the differences between observed and predicted values, to partition data into subsets, or to assess the model's theoretical framework.
It should be B, ma'am, according to me.
Okay. Anyone else who would like to give a try? So I agree with Ekant sir. It is B, to analyze the difference between observed and predicted values. Very right. So here are certain web links given to you. Then ensuring theoretical soundness. Ensuring theoretical soundness is a fundamental step in research modeling. Researchers must first identify relevant theories and frameworks supporting their model. Each construct should align with the established literature, avoiding theoretical mismatches. Logical relationships among variables must be clearly defined, ensuring consistency with prior research. A comprehensive literature review is necessary to validate theoretical rigor and identify gaps. By synthesizing existing knowledge, researchers can strengthen their model's foundation and enhance its credibility. Addressing inconsistencies through theoretical triangulation further improves robustness. So, let us explore this. A scholar studying employee engagement linked their model to self-determination theory. They ensured theoretical soundness by aligning variables, autonomy, competence, and relatedness with SDT theory principles. A literature review confirmed theoretical consistency, reinforcing the model's validity. So, why is theoretical alignment critical in research modeling? Yes, please. Why it is critical? Okay, Girish sir, basically whatever I am showing, it is being displayed and I think you can use the links, but you can ask Bhola sir. As per his suggestion, we can proceed. Right. Okay. Why is theoretical alignment critical in research modeling? Just give it a try. Because we all know every time we are referencing to literature, we are quoting, we are referencing. So you must be able to answer this.
It reinforces the model.
Okay. What else? I agree. What else? For correctness of variables. Okay. Right. So it ensures conceptual clarity and consistency with existing literature. Right. How can researchers identify relevant theories for their model? Yes, this is important. Which theory to be applied? How can you identify relevant theory for your model? From where you can get the clue or the theory to be used? I hope all of you know the answer. Yes, please. By conducting what? By conducting?
Pilot study.
No. Relevant theories from where we can get? We cannot get relevant theories from pilot study.
Literature
By
review.
literature review.
Right, right.
Literature.
Very right. By conducting a comprehensive literature review and analyzing prior studies. Very right. What is the primary purpose of ensuring theoretical soundness in research? To collect more data, to validate conceptual relationships, to eliminate variables, or to create new theories. Primary purpose of ensuring theoretical soundness.
B. It's B, to validate conceptual relationships.
Very right answer. It is B, to validate conceptual relationships. Which method helps in evaluating theoretical rigor? Ignoring prior research, literature review, random selection of variables, or eliminating mediators? Yes, please.
Again, I think I'm going with the literature review, but I'm not sure about it.
Yeah, you are right. It is literature review. So your concepts are very, very clear. Mohit sir, Ekant sir, I really appreciate. And others also are trying their best. So here are certain web links and suggested readings. Now testing model fit and goodness of fit indices. Testing model fit is essential for validating research models. Researchers use goodness of fit indices such as comparative fit index, root mean square error of approximation, and standardized root mean square residual to evaluate how well the model represents data. The first step involves running structural equation modeling, SEM, using software like MOS or Lizril. Fit indices are then interpreted to determine the model's adequacy. It indicates fall outside acceptable thresholds, for example, RMC SEA more than 0.08. Refinements are needed, such as modifying paths or eliminating redundant variables. Ensuring strong model fit enhances research reliability and credibility. So you should note that the value that I have mentioned here. Okay. A scholar analyzing consumer behavior tested model fit using MOS. Initial results showed that an RMSEA of 0.09 requiring adjustments. By refining relationships and removing insignificant paths, they achieved an RMSEA of 0.05, strengthening their model. So why is testing model fit crucial in research? Yes, please.
Point. If we talk about, the SCA, यानी कि error identification differentiates between the different concepts or say different domains. If we talk about management, then in management we consider 0.05, the p value as 0.05, so that we can justify, yes, the value which has been given by regression analysis is statistically valid.
Yes.
Because if we take an example of Lifebuoy, in the advertisement of Lifebuoy also speaks like they usually remove the germs 99.9% only, but still there is a gap of 0.001%,
Right.
which shows that yes, in medical line 0.00 or say 0.10% is allowed.
Right.
I mean, that can be due to the other factors also.
Right. Ekansar, you also want to say something?
Ma'am, I think testing model fit is crucial because it helps to refine relationships between the different
Yes.
variables, and
Yes.
that's the thing. Actually.
Okay. So it ensures the model accuracy represents theoretical relationships and data. So what are the key fit indices used in SEM? Key fit indices used in SEM. These are CFI, RMSEA, SRMR, and chi-square. Which software is commonly used for testing model fit? SPSS, MOS, Excel, or Word?
SPSS.
B, MOS.
Yes, it is B, MOS. What does a high RMSEA value indicate? Good model fit, poor model fit, increased reliability, or no impact on fit?
Poor model fit.
It should be C, increased reliability.
It is B. Mohit sir is right here. Poor model fit.
Okay.
So you see the case again. Let me show it again. Now see, initial results showed RMSE of 0.09 requiring adjustments. And by
Okay, sorry,
refining
my bad.
relationships,
I thought in a reversed order. Sorry.
uh, so
Yeah.
and in prior slide, when we were discussing the theoretical part, here also I mentioned, if you have listened, that if indices fall outside acceptable threshold of RMSEA more than 0.08, refinements are needed, such as modifying paths or eliminating redundant variables. Right? So ensuring strong model fit enhances research reliability and credibility. I hope I am able to clarify.
Yes, I'm clarified. Thanks.
Welcome. Now here are certain web links you can go through. Now common pitfalls and how to avoid them. So a common mistake in structuring research models is the lack of a solid theoretical foundation, which weakens the overall validity of the model. It is critical to select variables that are well supported by previous studies to ensure relevance. Many researchers fail to incorporate moderating or mediating variables, which lead to oversimplified findings. Additionally, validation methods such as reliability testing and factor analysis are often overlooked, resulting in inconsistent conclusions. Misalignment between research objectives and model structure can cause confusion and reduce clarity. Using prior research effectively enhances model robustness and contributes to academic rigor. A well-structured research model must be designed with a clear framework, ensuring coherence with theoretical underpinnings. Dr. Ramesh, a PhD scholar studying consumer behavior, designed a research model linking brand trust and purchase intention. However, his initial model lacked a theoretical foundation and ignored mediating effects like perceived value. After receiving feedback, he refined his model by incorporating constructs from the theory of planned behavior and used structural equation modeling for validation. This adjustment strengthened his research, making it more credible and publishable. So, why is theoretical foundation essential in research model building? Yes, please. Why is theoretical foundation essential in research model building? It provides what? It provides structured approach and ensures the model is based on established principles, increasing the credibility. Then what is a major risk of not using a theoretical framework? Faster research completion, enhanced model clarity, weak model validity, or increased publication chances.
Weak model.
Very right, ma'am. It is weak model validity. Very right. Which method helps validate a research model? Hypothesis guessing, factor analysis, random sampling, or simple t-test? To validate a research model, which technique we can use? Which method? Out of these? It is factor analysis. So some web links. YouTube link is also there. Overcomplicating the model. Another important parameter to be taken care of. Sometimes we get so indulged in our research framework that the outcome that we come up with becomes so complicated that it becomes difficult to wind up the entire research at the end. So do not overcomplicate it. Make it simple. Make it as per the requirements. If you have high passion for research, you can continue your research even after obtaining your PhD degree. So keeping in mind the time frame you have to complete your degree, and as per the requirements of the university you are associated with, frame your model accordingly. You can continue your passion for research in later years even after obtaining your degree. So try to complete it well in time and make the model as per the requirements. Please do not complicate it. Why so? Let us discuss. A major pitfall in research model development is overcomplication, where scholars add excessive variables, making analysis cumbersome. An overly complex model often includes redundant variables, leading to multicollinearity issues and affecting statistical validity. Overloading a model can obscure the key relationships being investigated, making the findings less actionable. Furthermore, excessive constructs make data collection challenging, increasing respondent fatigue and reducing response accuracy. Keeping the model simple, focused, and aligned with research objectives enhances clarity and makes it easier to interpret results. The principle of parsimony should be followed, ensuring that the model is comprehensive yet concise. Do not make it so simple that it becomes a PG level research, but also do not make it so complicated that it becomes difficult to wind up at the end. You have to make a balance with the help of your guide. Go as per your guide. Dr. Priya, a research supply chain resilience, initially designed a model with over 15 constructs, making statistical analysis difficult. After expert feedback, she refined her model to focus on the 5 most critical variables. The streamlined model improved the clarity of her study and facilitated better hypothesis testing. How does overcomplication affect research model validity? So I have given some clues to the answer question, but you can add more to it. Yes, please. As I have mentioned, it introduces redundancy, increased statistical errors, and makes data interpretation complex. What else? Anything else you would like to add beyond this?
Difficult to complete on time as per the university guidelines.
Very right. Difficult to complete well in time as per university guidelines. Delay in completion of your PhD will affect your career development, right? And your growth prospects. So why is Paris money important in research models? As I have mentioned, it ensures the model remains focused, clear, and statistically manageable. Anything else you would like to add?
What's the meaning of Paris money, ma'am?
Yes, anyone who would like to add to the meaning? Mohit sir, Ekant,
No, ma'am, never heard about it. No, ma'am, never heard.
Mohit sir, is he there? Mohit sir, are you there? Yes, please. Anyone? Just give it a try if you like. So the principle that the simplest explanation is best when there are multiple explanations for the same data. It is also known as Occam's razor. OCCAM''S''RAZOR. So the principle that the simplest explanation is the best when there are multiple explanations for the same data. Am I clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So make it simple that I was stressing. When you have multiple explanations, so give the simplest one.
Ma'am, can you explain once again that multiple explanation?
Yes, for one thing, you can explain it in various ways. As far as the explanation is concerned, it can be simple, it can be complex. Are you looking for some example? Yes?
Yeah, that would help.
Okay. Let me try to explain with the help of an example. Studying student test anxiety. If a researcher is trying to understand why a student is experiencing test anxiety, the parsimonious explanation might be that they simply haven't studied enough, rather than assuming complex underlying psychological factors like a fear of failure, unless evidence points strongly to that conclusion. Should I repeat? Suppose one of you are studying student test anxiety, right? And you are trying to understand why student is experiencing this test anxiety. The parsimonious explanation might be they simply have not studied enough. So I think this is the simplest answer. And what can be the complex reasons? We can assume that underlying psychological factors like a fear of failure might be there. But for this, we need some evidence so that we can conclude accordingly. Without evidence, we cannot comment. It will remain a perception. So I hope I'm able to clarify now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I got it.
So when you are evaluating different hypotheses, you are encouraged to choose the one that best explains the data with fewest assumptions. Assumptions must be minimum, right? So it explains that the simplest explanation is usually the best, right? Okay. So what is the main disadvantage of including too many variables? Improved model accuracy, increased respondent interest, analytical complexity, enhanced research scope. Anyone? Okay, Anantdeep ma'am, it is C. Anyone else? Yes, it is analytical complexity. Very right, ma'am. Yes, Girish sir, right. It is C. What principle ensures model simplicity? Redundancy principle, parsimony, overcomplication theorem, or random sampling?
B.
B?
Arsenic.
Yes, it is B. Right. Then here are certain web links. Okay. Then neglecting alignment with research objectives. Anyone who would like to throw a light on it? Basically, a critical mistake in research model building is neglecting alignment with research objectives. Suppose you are able to create a wonderful research model, but everyone is appreciating when they are just looking at the model. But what happens when they map it with your objectives? So, the critical mistake in research model building is neglecting alignment with research objectives. It must map with your research objectives. Otherwise, purpose will be defeated. Misalignment leads to irrelevant hypothesis. Yes, Shibi ma'am?
Ma'am, this is a personal thing. I have completed my 2 projects presently, progress report
Right.
with the college. Ma'am, whenever I meet the review committee, they are like whatever they see my objectives, they always object. So now the clarity is not there in me that am I going right or wrong, because perceptions are different. When the people in the panel sit and they discuss, they
Right.
talk a lot of question marks in my mind. That's the main reason I thought of taking up this course with you. So I wanted a little more clarity if I am on my directions. When I went to the guide, she suggested to attend this session basically. So can you give me 5 minutes of your time once you're done with this, with the support of sir also, if he allows, because I'm not getting clarity that I'm on the right direction, basically.
Ma'am, what we can do is if we are able to wind up the session well in time, it's fine.
Okay.
Otherwise, you have my email ID and my WhatsApp number in the group. We
Okay,
can
ma'am.
discuss it separately.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Because the projects you are working on might be confidential.
Yes, yes,
So we
ma'am.
can discuss it separately.
Sure,
I
ma'am.
think that will be better.
Thanks for the support, ma'am.
So I'll give the inputs after going through it. You can, if you feel like, after permission of your guide, you can email it to me, the portion you want to discuss,
Okay,
and
ma'am.
I'll share the feedback, or you can send by the WhatsApp.
Okay.
So it
Thank
will
you.
maintain the confidentiality also.
Sure, ma'am. Thanks.
Welcome. So how's your feedback on the suggestion of your guide? How do you like?
See, my guide is saying it's okay, but should I
No,
listen to
no,
my guide?
about attending the session, I'm asking. Feedback on attending the session.
I have still not given her the feedback because I thought I'll complete the session and then I will give the
No,
feedback.
I'm asking your feedback, not to your
No,
guide.
no, ma'am. I'm getting clarity on few things which I didn't had basically. So a lot of a course, a pre PhD course is completed, but these clarities were not given there. So I appreciate this course. I would suggest people to attend this. It gives us more clarity on the broad
Thank you, ma'am.
concept.
Thank you so much. Basically, what is my way of delivering sessions is
Mm.
I try to make it simplest possible so that everyone who is attending the session can understand what we are discussing.
Yes, ma'am.
Another thing I usually ask at the end is, in case any one of you or all of you are looking for certain topics in which you are looking for sessions in future,
Yeah,
you can
ma'am.
always tell me, or sir, Bholenath sir, or you can tell me also, so
Okay.
that we can plan accordingly in times to come.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the
Okay.
support.
Okay. If you are looking for session on objectives, we can conduct that too.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Right. Or any other topic anyone is coming across, they are facing any difficulty, we are open to conducting the sessions. Because today's session also we are conducting on the recommendations of a scholar like you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so we always take care of, I appreciate Bhola sir's concern. He always takes care of every feedback he is coming across, and I also try my best to conduct sessions as per the researcher's requirements. rather than going for the traditional things. You might be finding this session is totally different from what you have studied till now.
Yeah, yes, ma'am, because it's covering the overall perspective. Like it's not only objective, you're covering all areas of uh, the course, basically.
Right. And it is not the traditional way. I believe in
Yeah.
bringing, newness to things what I am doing.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, this is my first course that I'm attending it online. So,
Okay.
okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
I hope you are able to utilize your time well.
Yeah, yeah, sure, ma'am. Yes,
Thank you.
definitely. Thanks.
Thank you. So we can discuss it separately,
Yes, ma'am.
right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. So we were discussing the neglecting alignment with research objectives. A critical mistake in research model building is neglecting alignment with research objectives. Misalignment leads to irrelevant hypotheses, making the study less impactful. Scholars often introduce variables without ensuring they address the research question, leading to wasted efforts. A well aligned model directly contributes to problem solving, increasing its academic value. Failure to ensure this alignment often results in journal rejection due to lack of coherence. Ensuring the research model is consistently built around the objectives enhances clarity and research impact. I would like to add one more thing. Like in times to come, the direction of research is moving towards action research. Like whatever we are doing must be useful either to the industry or to the policymakers. It must have some relevant outcome. Suppose you have developed some new model which is very new to the industry or to the particular organization or to policymakers. It will definitely contribute, and you may plan or someone may plan for some startups or anything like this. It should have real outcomes. So Dr. Ankit studied employee retention, but included job satisfaction as the only variable without considering career growth and work-life balance. Reviewers pointed out the misalignment, prompting him to revise the model. By incorporating key constructs related to retention, his study gained depth and relevance. So try to understand. He is studying employee retention but included only job satisfaction, one variable without considering career growth and work-life balance. So how does misalignment affect research quality? I have given you certain clues like it reduces the study's contribution and makes finding less relevant. Anything else you would like to add?
Inappropriate hypothesis.
Okay, very right. Inappropriate hypothesis. Okay. Second, how can researchers ensure alignment? By directly
Proper
linking,
LS,
pardon?
by proper literature service.
Okay. What else? By directly linking each model component to what? Linking each model component to fill in the blank.
Research objective.
Very right. To the research question and the objective. Right, ma'am. What happens if a research model is misaligned with objectives? Yes, Kirish sir, please ask.
I have two questions.
Yes.
One is
It's the
what is the difference between a variable and a construct?
Variable and a construct. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone
The
else? Yeah.
second question is what should be the ideal number of constructs one should have uh, for a research, say a PhD research?
Okay. Anyone who would like to answer first question? Difference between variable and construct. Anyone? Please answer. It's essential.
I have a vague idea, but I'm not very sure.
Please tell me.
I think variable is something that we know, but construct is something that we are still figuring out.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes. Anything else? Anyone?
Variable is basically measurable.
Okay.
And construct is an abstract.
Okay. Anything else?
Which may vary. Variables can vary basically.
Yes, variables whose values vary. And what is construct then? Yes.
It's an abstract basically. Which is like job satisfaction and all is employee engagement is a construct.
See, variables are used to measure the construct. Right? I agree. Variable is something, the value of which varies, keeps on changing. Suppose I ask organizational commitment, what it is? Is it a construct or a variable?
Construct.
Why it is a construct? Because
Satisfaction, like all those things cannot be measured basically.
because to determine this organizational commitment, we need to measure this commitment construct, we need certain variables, such as employee absenteeism rate, employee retention rate, and willing to go the extra mile for the company, which we can measure through certain questions or survey questions. So basically, construct comprises n number of variables with the help of which we can measure the construct. Or you can say construct is a sum of variables. Am I right?
Okay.
Okay. Another example. What is happiness? Is it a construct or variable?
Construct.
Why? Because it cannot be precisely measured or quantified.
Yes.
Right? And what can be the variables or the parameters to measure this construct?
Survey forms like Likert scale.
No, variables. Variables to measure happiness. How we can measure happiness? It depends on anyone? Variables for happiness.
The feelings. Then
yes, right. Feelings is one variable.
Actions.
Actions, yeah.
Actions.
Okay, actions. Okay. So basically, variables to measure happiness can include life satisfaction, positive emotions experienced, absent of negative emotions, social support, income level, health, freedom, trust, generosity, and perceived quality of life. Right? And to measure this, we can make use of some standard scales also, like satisfaction with life scale. Clear? And the positive and negative affect schedule. So there are certain proven scales available. We can make use of these also. Clear? So if we are talking about emotions, we have to clarify positive emotions lead to happiness. So presence or experienced positive emotions, but absence of negative emotions. Then only it can lead to happiness. Clear? Yes, Girish sir?
I understood. So you are saying happiness is a construct and there are multiple variables that kind of forms the happiness. So suppose say I want to say connect happiness with say productivity. The assumption is that the happy person will have a better productivity. So in that case, sometimes I don't know, I might be wrong. Do we say happiness as a independent variable and productivity as a dependent variable? So are we not talking about the constructs here when we say independent and dependent?
No,
Yeah,
independent and dependent both are variables.
yeah. So when I'm saying happiness as a independent variable, so am I saying am I saying that as a construct it is an independent?
No, 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 no.
Because happiness is formed because of multiple variables that you mentioned. I don't know. I'm whether my question is clear or not. I might have not have explained properly.
Yes, basically, I'm finding it difficult to understand, but let me try.
Okay,
Suppose, let
simple
me,
words. Yes, ma'am.
yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
happiness is considered the construct, the overall concept being investigated. Whereas individual measures like self-reported happiness score on scale or positive affect experienced at work would be considered variable. To operationalize and quantify the happiness construct. So construct can be happiness and variables can be self-report happiness scale, positive affect questionnaire, life satisfaction scale. So productivity is basically another construct. And how we can measure it? We need to look for variables that help us measure productivity. Right. And for to measure productivity, we can have variables like number of tasks completed within a set time, quality of work produced, sales figures achieved, and project completion rate. Basically, both are constructs, happiness as well as productivity. And we have different variables to measure these constructs.
Oh, okay, man. I got it. Thank you.
Understood? Am I
Yes.
able to clarify your doubt?
Yes. 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 Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay. Yes. Anything you are saying? Okay. So what happens if a research model is misaligned with objectives and one of you answered wasted effort and relevance?
And irrelevance.
Very right. Very right. How can researchers check for alignment? By adding more variables, reviewing research questions, ignoring expert feedback, or expanding the hypothesis. Yes, please.
It
I
should
hope
be adding more variables.
it should be
Yes.
Expanding
Adding
the
more
hypothesis.
variables.
Expanding the hypothesis.
check for alignment out of the options given. What we have
To
discussed,
margin and confusion.
huh?
It
What
should
we
be A.
discussed, just recall.
Oh.
Fitness of model when it aligns with objectives and
Research question.
research questions. So what is the answer?
It's B.
Review research questions.
Yes, it
Review
is
research.
reviewing research questions. I hope now you understood,
Research.
right?
Okay.
Okay. So some links, then case studies and examples. Basically, why we suggest case studies? Because these provide concrete examples of how research models are structured and validated. So, we can discuss the significance of analyzing real-world examples to understand theoretical frameworks. A selected case study from management research can be examined, explaining the research problem, theoretical framework, methodology, and outcomes. The focus will be on extracting key lessons for scholars, ensuring they understand how to translate theoretical concepts into practical models. A step-by-step breakdown will be provided showing how a structured approach leads to academic success. An example will be taken from an empirical study on business strategy models. The case study will be analyzed for its problem identification, hypothesis formulation, then methodology, data collection, analysis, and validation. So we can discuss common pitfalls and how you can avoid. So if you want, we can discuss this. Otherwise, we are discussing so many case studies already. A study on sustainable business strategy and firm performance analyzed how companies implement sustainability initiatives and their impact on financial performance. The researchers used the resource-based review to structure their model. The model hypothesized that firms with sustainability integration have better long-term profitability. The study used secondary data from annual reports and a survey of top executives. The researchers applied SEM to test relationships between sustainability practices and financial performance. The findings showed that strategic sustainability positively influences firm performance. The case study demonstrates how to frame a research problem, develop hypotheses, and use a structured methodology to derive conclusions. So, how do case studies help in structuring a research model? Yes, please. Case studies provide us what?
Clear example of
Real world scenario.
Very
Yeah.
right. Case studies provide real world insights. Yeah. Into research design, demonstrating how different elements of a model interact and ensuring a structured approach to hypothesis testing. What key factors should be considered when selecting a case study for research? What are the key factors? Name few. These can be relevance to the research topic, availability of data, clarity of theoretical framework, and potential for deriving generalizable conclusions. So primary purpose of using case studies in research model building is to yes, out of the options given.
It's B, to validate and refine existing
It's
models.
B. Right, right. Which of the following is not a key component of a case study analysis? Not a key component.
It's C.
Right, it is C.
ignoring data.
Right. Successful models from various disciplines. Successful research models have common elements that can be adapted across disciplines. So if we are discussing management research, it does not mean we are confined only to management domain. That is why I have kept this slide, because they have certain common elements that can be adapted across disciplines. So we discuss research models from marketing, HR, finance, and strategy, highlighting their application in empirical studies. Each model will be broken down step by step, including defining the research problem, developing theoretical frameworks, selecting methodologies, and analyzing results. An example from HR research will be used to explain how job satisfaction influences employee performance. The key takeaway is to understand how different disciplines use structured models to generate impactful research. So let us explore. A study on job satisfaction and employee performance developed a research model using Herzberg's two-factor theory. The model hypothesized that intrinsic and extrinsic motivation impact employee performance differently. The researchers collected survey data from 500 employees across industries and used multiple regression analysis to test hypotheses. Findings indicated that intrinsic motivation, for example, recognition, significantly influenced performance, while extrinsic factors such as salary had a weaker correlation. This case study demonstrates how to structure a research model using established theories and empirical data. So, what common elements do successful research models share across discipline? What is common, irrespective of the discipline? It is clear theoretical framework, well-defined research questions, strong methodology, and empirical validation. How can PhD scholars adapt successful models from one discipline to other? By understanding underlying principles, modifying variables, and ensuring methodological compatibility with their research focus. So basics remain the same. Which of the following is a key step in building a successful research model? Yes. Anyone?
B, defining a clear research problem.
Right, sir. Which model was used in case study on job satisfaction and employee performance? Just one slide back.
B.
Right. It is B, Herzberg's two-factor theory. Analysis and discussion. So, analyzing research models critically is essential to identify strengths, limitations, and areas for improvement. Okay, you have made a model, but you need to analyze it to identify strengths, limitations, and areas for improvement. So, we discussed techniques for evaluating research models, focusing on their theoretical soundness, methodological rigor, and empirical validation. You must assess gaps in literature, inconsistencies in findings, and limitations of research design. Examples from real studies will be provided to demonstrate practical applications. So, you may also be able to refine your models through continuous iteration and feedback. So, a study on consumer trust in e-commerce identified gaps in existing models of online trust. Researchers tested a model integrating brand reputation, website security, and user experience. The study found that while security and reputation were significant, user experience had a stronger impact than previously assumed. This analysis led to refining trust models for digital platforms. Why is it important to identify gaps in research models? To improve what? Purpose of gap identification. To improve?
Research quality.
To improve accuracy, address limitations, and contribute novel insights to academic research. How can scholars refine their research models? Through iterative testing, peer feedback, and integrating updated literature. Go for the latest one. Rest depends on the topic and the research happened in that particular domain. So, yesterday I have given you a practical exercise to build your own model. So, a research model visually represents the relationship among key study variables, helping structure PhD research. First, variables must be identified. Independent, that is cause. Dependent, that is effect. Moderating means strengthens or weakens the relationships. And mediating means explains the relationships. Next, relationships among these variables are established using theoretical frameworks. Hypotheses are formulated based on prior literature. A good research model clarifies the study's direction. Consider a study on employee motivation, job satisfaction as a dependent variable, leadership style as an independent variable, and organization culture as a moderating variable. Right? So, let us see further. A scholar studying employee performance developed a research model where training programs were the independent variable. Employee productivity was the dependent variable, and workplace culture was a moderating variable. Through literature review, she identified theories supporting these relationships, such as Herzberg's two-factor theory. After testing her model using a SEM, she found workplace culture significantly impacted the relationship between training and productivity. This model helped define HR strategies within a multinational firm. Why is defining variables crucial in research model building? Yes. It ensures clarity in hypothesis formulation and research direction. How do moderating and mediating variables differ? Yes. Moderators affect the strength of relationship, whereas mediators explain the relationship. Understood? Which of the following is an example of a dependent variable? DV. I hope all of you know it. DV.
Employee productivity.
Right. Employee productivity. What is the role of a conceptual framework? Role of a conceptual framework.
P. It helps in identifying and defining relationships.
Right. Hands-on exercises to create a conceptual model, that also we have done yesterday. I have incorporated one today also, but if time permits, let us see. So you can create your conceptual models. The first step is selecting key variables. Next, define relationships and align them with theories. Using softwares like MOS or Smart PLS, you can construct diagrams, ensuring clarity and coherence. For example, in service quality research, customer satisfaction is what?
Dependent variable.
Right. And service efficiency is? Service efficiency. It is?
Mediating variable.
Moderating.
Efficiency. Will its value change?
It's independent variable.
Yes, it is independent variable. Right? Okay. Service efficiency is independent and customer trust is?
Moderate.
Dependent.
Customer trust. Mediating or moderating? Is it, explaining something, or is it
mediating.
determining the strength? It is
It's moderating.
mediating,
Okay.
because
Mediating,
it is explaining.
In the relation.
Okay.
Right.
In the relation.
So you can apply this framework to the topics and validate the model using LR, literature review. Let us explore. A researcher investigating online shopping behavior formulated a model where website usability was IV, customer satisfaction was DV, and trust was mediating. Using Smart PLS, she conducted a path analysis, finding a strong mediating effect of trust. This guided e-commerce firms in improving user experience. So why is software useful in model development? Why is software useful in model development? It ensures accuracy and allows validation of relationships. What challenges arise in model building? Identifying the
Selection of variables.
very right. Identifying the correct variables and establishing
relations.
Yes, establishing valid relationships. So two things are very, very important. First is to identify correct variables and then establishing valid relationships. I think sir asked one more question. Where is he? Girish sir, number of variables I think you were asking.
Yes, what is the ideal number of constructs in a research, specifically in PhD kind of research?
Okay.
What should be the ideal number of constructs? How
Any
much?
number, anyone who would like to answer this question? Anyone? What is the right answer? बताइए. Just think and answer. All of you are
Can you
scholars.
please
You
come
might
again?
have come
I
across.
didn't heard.
Ideal number of constructs in PhD research. Yes. Ideal
It should
number
be
of
one.
one.
One, I guess.
3 to 4.
One.
Anyone else? Yes. 3 to 4. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, please. Anyone else? Please tell me. Your guides must have discussed with you. Ideal number of constructs in PhD research. No? Basically, it depends on the title. It depends on the objectives you have taken into consideration. Right? It depends on the nature of the study. So there are various factors that help us identify and determine the number of constructs. We cannot, say like this is the right number of the constructs and this is not the right number of the constructs. It all depends on what are the objectives you have framed, what are you trying to achieve, and what is the direction of the study and all that. Clear? Everything cannot be quantified. I hope all of you will agree to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Right? We can discuss the number of objectives. Objectives can be how much? Ideal number of objectives.
4 to 5.
Ultimately, how much, ma'am?
4 to 5, ma'am.
4 to 5. Yes. So accordingly, how many constructs we can make and the kind of model. Another thing, important factor that you need to take into consideration is the time frame, as we were discussing earlier.
Mhm.
Third is we were discussing over complexity.
Yeah.
Number
Simple.
should not be too large that it becomes complex to analyze and conclude at the end. It should not be so simple that it falls in the category of UG level or PG level research. Right? So various factors affect it. Okay. So why software used in model development, this we have discussed, and challenges we were discussing, identifying the correct variables and establishing valid relationships. So which software is commonly used for conceptual modeling? Conceptual model building. It is?
Amos.
Amos.
Right. What does path analysis do?
B.
B?
No.
Right. Right. Then peer feedback and refinement. Why peer feedback is important? So basically we are focusing on refining research models through peer feedback. You can present your models and receive critiques on clarity, logical flow, and theoretical alignment. The peer review process involves structured feedback such as strengths, areas of improvement, and suggestions. Constructive criticism enhances model validity and alignment with research objectives. For example, if a scholar's model on consumer trust lacks theoretical backing, peers suggest relevant theories like TAM, and finally, scholars document changes and justify refinements. So, a scholar developed a model on digital marketing effectiveness. During peer review, gaps in variable justification were noted. Reviewers suggested including customer engagement as a mediator. After revisions, the model was more robust, aligning with marketing theories. The improved model was later validated using survey data. How does peer feedback improve research models? It identifies gaps and,
Gaps.
and enhances theoretical alignment. What strategies ensure constructive peer feedback? Providing specific, actionable, and respectful suggestions. What is the primary goal of peer feedback?
B.
Right, it is B.
This.
Right, right. Which of the following is not part of peer feedback?
A.
No.
No, it's
C.
C.
Right, right. Communicating your model in the thesis. A well-structured research model strengthens a PhD thesis by providing a clear framework for analysis. Introduce the model with the research methodology section.
The thesis. Importance of clear model discussion and different thesis selection. Use diagram in virtual representation sectors.
Sorry, students, my mother-in-law is still not well. We have taken her to hospital at, I think, 5:36 today. Again, we have to take her. Okay, so let me complete. A well-structured research model strengthens a PhD thesis by providing a clear framework for analysis. Introduce the model within research methodology section and explain its components systematically. Then you should discuss how it aligns with research questions and hypotheses. Use diagrams for clarity, ensuring they are labeled appropriately. Highlight the model's relevance to existing literature. Ensure logical flow, making it easy for readers to understand its role in the research. A common mistake is vague explanations, avoid ambiguity, and provide context. Ensure coherence by linking the model to findings and conclusions. So to explore this further, what we are trying to say in this step, a scholar in marketing designed the and incorporating a well-labeled diagram, the scholar improved readability. The final thesis received positive feedback for clarity and coherence. So why is it essential to clearly explain a research model in the thesis? Yes. It ensures coherence, aligns with what? Again, same thing. Aligns with research objectives, right, and enhance reader comprehension. How can visual representations enhance model communication? Diagrams, what they do? They simplify what? Diagrammatic representations, arrows. What they do?
Relationships. They
Yes,
show relationships.
right. Basically, diagrams simplify complex ideas, making them more accessible to the audience. Very right. What is the primary purpose of including a research model in a thesis? Primary purpose of including a research model in a thesis. Yes.
To enhance clarity and structure.
Right. To enhance clarity and structure. Which of the following is a common mistake in explaining models? Common mistake.
Providing vague explanations.
Right. How to present models clearly and effectively. Effectively presenting a model requires selecting the right visualization method, such as flowcharts, conceptual diagrams, or tables. Labels and annotations must be clear to ensure easy interpretation. Avoid overcomplicating the structure. Simplicity enhances understanding. Illustrate applicability using real-world examples, ensuring alignment with research objectives. Consistency is the key. Use the same terminology and symbols throughout the thesis. Software tools like Visio, SmartArt, and LaTeX help create professional diagrams. Ambiguous structures confuse readers, so clarity should always be prioritized. A scholar in HR developed an employee engagement model. Initially, the model used complex interconnections, making it hard to interpret. By simplifying the structure, using clear arrows, and adding annotations, the final version became more comprehensible, leading to a well-received defense. Why is labeling crucial in model presentation? It provides
Clarity.
clarity and ensures accurate interpretation. What is the best way to avoid ambiguity in research models? Using clear diagrams, consistent terminology, and proper annotations. Which of the following is not a good practice in model presentation?
C.
Which one?
Leaving diagrams unlabeled.
Right.
C.
Right.
C.
Right. What software can be used for professional model representation?
SmartArt.
Okay.
It's
Anyone
all of the
else?
above, I guess.
Right. It is all of the above. Integrating models into your research narrative. A well-integrated model strengthens the research narrative by providing empirical relevance. It should be introduced within the literature review, linked to research framework, and logically connected to findings. Empirical validation with supporting data enhances credibility. Avoid placing models arbitrarily. Ensure smooth transitions. The model should cater to diverse audiences using accessible language. A seamless flow in writing makes the thesis more compelling. Poor integration weakens argumentation, so linking the model strategically is crucial. A PhD candidate in supply chain management struggled with integrating a supplier performance model. By restructuring the thesis and aligning the model with literature and empirical data, the researcher enhanced coherence. The improved integration helped secure a strong thesis evaluation. How can research models support findings? By providing empirical validation and structured argumentation. What is a common mistake in integrating models? It is arbitrary placement without logical connections. Why should models be linked to literature review? Yes.
To enhance your theoretical ground.
A. To
Right.
enhance theoretical grounding.
Right. What makes a model integration effective?
B. Linking to research framework and findings.
Right. Right. So what are the key takeaways from the session? Summarizing key insights from the workshop is crucial for reinforced learning. Okay. Anything you would like to add? Key takeaways. Anyone? You would like to add key takeaways?
Importance of visualization.
Right. What else? You can summarize your own words. Just leave the bullet points.
Peer reviewing.
Right. What else? Anyone who would like to sum up today's session or tomorrow and yesterday and today's session together? In your own words, key takeaways. Yes, please. Explain in your words.
Basically, it has given us clarity. Like I think all our research students here. For me, in specific, it gave me more clarity at a one go.
Right. Thank you so much. Okay. Anyone who would like to add anything? Any suggestions for topics to be taken in sessions, in forthcoming sessions? Any idea? Any recommendation?
For me, if I may find difficulties coming, which I would communicate to Bhola sir in turn.
Right. Thank you so much. So keep coming, keep sharing topics you are looking for sessions. We keep on conducting. Do not think of traditional ways. Think of contemporary. Think of something that you are feeling that it will be required in times to come. We should be well prepared in advance. So I have,
Good evening, ma'am.
yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Ma'am, thank you for such a wonderful session. Ma'am, I have a query if time allows.
Please ask.
Ma'am, actually, I want to know the difference between the higher order construct and the lower order construct. I mean, I'm not so much, I don't have much clarity about them.
Okay.
That, what is the difference? So, could you please enlighten me?
Okay. Anyone who would like to answer this? Anyone? Yes, please. Higher order and lower order constructs. Basically, A higher order construct refers to a more abstract, general concept that is made up of several more specific lower order constructs, which represent its different dimensions. Let me explain it with the help of an example. Customer satisfaction could be higher order or lower order construct. Anyone? Customer
Higher
satisfaction,
order.
higher order, because it is composed of lower order constructs like satisfaction with price, satisfaction with service quality, and satisfaction with staff. So as far as abstraction level is concerned, higher order constructs are at a higher level of abstraction, capturing a broader concept, whereas lower order constructs represent more specific aspects of that concept. And relationship, lower order constructs contribute to the overall understanding of higher order construct, meaning the higher order construct is made up of its lower order components.
Ma'am, basically the question is that how can we identify that whether it's a higher order construct or it's a lower order construct? How do we...
Try to establish the relationship.
Okay, for
Right?
example, I am taking an example of one construct that is perceived organizational support, ma'am. So,
Right.
how can I say that it's a for higher order construct or it's a lower order construct? Because
What are other constructs that you have to take into consideration and the relationship between them?
okay.
What comprises what? What you
Okay.
have mentioned? Perceived?
Perceived organizational support, ma'am.
Ma'am, this is moderate variable, na, ma'am.
Perceived
Yes.
organizational support, ma'am.
Is it a construct?
Ma'am, it's a moderate variable, I suppose.
Is it a moderating variable?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So that is what we need to identify first.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. 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 Thank you so much, ma'am.
Are you getting what we are discussing here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so first we need to identify what are IV, what are DV, what are moderating and what are mediating variables, and then take all the constructs together and establish a relationship.
So, ma'am, if for example in my study I have taken perceived organization as an independent variable, and my dependent variable is job embeddedness, so how can I say ki if it's a higher order construct or lower order construct? That is what it is really confusing.
Actually, this needs discussion further, in-depth discussion. We can discuss it separately.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Right?
you so much.
So you
Okay.
can contact me. You have my phone number and I'll share my email ID also. And we
Okay.
can discuss it separately.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Right?
As per your convenience, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. So basically, now I have given you a sample model building for PLSM analysis, like introduction to model building in PLSM, then step-by-step model construction, and then finalizing the model for PLSM. Right? And then first you try yourself and then you can check your response. And then I have also given you example of how to make title based on this. Then objectives. These are just samples. And then hypothesis. Right? See, here I have tried to explain, you may refer direct effects, mediating effects, and moderating effects. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we will discuss separately Surbhi ma'am and Shibi ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone
Sure.
else, if they are having any queries, they can inform me separately. Right?
Ma'am, I don't have your number. I will try and take it from sir.
It is 9996 222239. Or you can note down the other one, 97286 70249.
Okay, fine, ma'am. Thank you.
Right? Okay. Over to Bola, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. My job is to start the session and and a happy ending, I think. So thank you, ma'am. Yesterday we started the session a little late, but ma'am has taken a lot of efforts to start the session at 7:40, and we all are thankful to ma'am. And today it was on time. And thank you, ma'am, for explaining in details the concept related to the theme of the workshop. And even we had a limited number, but there was good interaction, and I was also listening. So a lot of learning, especially for me as well. And based on the suggestion, the group is there. I'll open the group, and ma'am is also there in the group. So her number also is there. So anyone wants to contact ma'am there also, no, you can do that. And all the certificates will be sent through email. I think by this weekend, I'll send it in 1 or 2 days time. That's by practice, so you don't miss it.
I
And
have shared my number in chat also.
okay, so in the chat box also you can have ma'am's number. Most welcome to contact ma'am or me anytime for any support and help, and we'll definitely extend our best efforts to do that. Thank you once again, Monika ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for providing such a wonderful opportunity
Uh,
along with such wonderful participants who are actually eager to learn. They have the curiosity and the zeal. All the best from my side to all of you who are present here. Thank you so much to sir, also to all the participants.
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
will
Thank
welcome
you.
your feedback, your suggestions, your queries. We are open even after the session.
Thank you very much, and please keep in touch. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take
Thank
care.
you, sir. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, students. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Bye.